What's up, everybody? Welcome in. DFS Army MLB pre-lock show Wednesday. Razzle and Tattoo here. 7-game slate. Tattoo, how are you feeling tonight?
Sleepy. I'm having a hard time staying awake this afternoon.
I hear you there.
It's so hot, I've been working on the tractor, and then you come back inside, and it's like,
It is the opposite of hot here. It is cool and raining, and I've done nothing but run my daughter around to activities today, and I just want to lay down and take a nap, but no time for that today. Baseball going on right now. Don't know why at least DK, I didn't even look at FanDuel. Don't know why DK didn't include the two other games, like the Dodger game especially. It would have fit in a less than 3-hour window from the first start time. So I don't understand it, but whatever.
FanDuel doesn't have the Braves game either.
It led to some shit pitching options on the early slate because of everything. DK has the Braves game tonight. FanDuel does not, you said?
Yeah, FanDuel doesn't.
Sucks for FanDuel because I think J.R. Ritchie's in play tonight. So at least on this main slate evening, we have better pitching options. We don't have any slam dunk pitching options, though. We just have better ones.
Yeah.
Like the field's flocking to George Kirby after what Logan Gilbert did last night against the Orioles. Plus, Kirby struck out 10 last week against the Orioles as well. I'm a little shocked to see the field just flock to Gavin Williams against the Brewers right now with the way that the Guardians are playing.
Yeah.
But I guess there really isn't a lot of ownership there are a lot of options to go with. I just dropped my article right before we went live, and I wrote it based on what Braxton Ashcraft's earlier projected ownership was in the single digits. It looks like it's more than doubled since I last looked. So now my article feels really weird.
He's still single digits on FanDuel.
That'll help, but like Ashcraft's in the plus side of that article, and Brandon Sproat's on the negative side. They're basically side by side in ownership now. So it kind of makes that less enjoyable, but it's not like we had a lot of options. Plus, we lost Max Scherzer. Went on the IL just today as he was set to start. So it looks like Toronto's going mainly bullpen game.
It makes me like Boston less.
It does. I was interested in some home run upside from Boston against Max Scherzer. Now I'm going to have to redo my rankings a little bit. I believe that Carson Whisenhunt is starting for the Giants and not JT Brubaker. Brubaker would be an opener either way, but from my understanding, the Giants were calling up Whisenhunt to make the start, and there I just refreshed and it just updated. So we have that now. What are your thoughts overall on pitching? Are you going super heavy on just a couple guys? Any guys that you want to mix in or you're interested in at all?
Yeah, I'm kind of, sticking with the Gavin Williams, Ashcraft, Rodon, Kirby. I will have some Bradish in there and even a little Aaron Savali.
I will not be playing Savali tonight as much as I've been taking the A's pitchers in this series. And Jack Perkins, those splits were a real thing. Looked really good last night until the bullpen came in and allowed one of his runs to score.
Yeah.
He basically was kept in the game about 2 batters too long to start the 6th inning. I just can't do it with Savali. I just feel less confident about what he's capable of doing. So I like the Pittsburgh side a lot more than I have this series.
Pittsburgh is my favorite stack.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's up there. Colorado's up there again for me. The Cubs might have finally made it up a little higher than they have been recently for me. Sean Sullivan's been pretty rough in the minors this season. Last year, he was pretty good in the minors. So he's talented, but he's had a rough go of it this year. So with the wind blowing out in Wrigley, I think he might have a little rough day today. Are you going to consider Wisenhunt against the Braves at all?
I really have to look at it because I did FanDuel and he's not on there, so I didn't really look too much into it yet.
I'm intrigued a little bit about it. A left-handed pitcher just pitched the continuation of last night's game earlier this afternoon. Robbie Ray shut down the Braves.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into why Robbie Ray was the long reliever in that scenario, because no matter how they explain it, I think it's dumb. My belief is probably they did it because they were up 3-2 when the game was suspended. So Ray got to start out fresh, in inning 3 or whatever it was with the lead. Yeah. I would have preferred him pitching tonight, like in a full game atmosphere, rather than it turning into a minor leaguer and bullpen game. When they could have just treated the suspended game like a bullpen game anyways. But either way, it was a lefty earlier today that shut him down. Wisenhunt could be an all right play. I mean, I'd much rather play J.R. Ritchie. Like 99 times out of 100, it's J.R. Ritchie for me over Wisenhunt in that same game.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you gonna would you debate playing Anthony Kay at all against the Yankees?
Yes, I would debate it. I'm still a little gun shy after sucking Davis Martin's nuts yesterday.
I was glad I was kind of right on the Davis Martin train yesterday, even though I still made myself get some exposure. I felt like he was the one guy in my pool that I should come off of, and I even wrote it in the note on the site. Like, I'm looking for a reason to remove him because, we talk about it a lot, right? The positive and negative regression. Like, at some point, Davis Martin's going to regress some. Doesn't mean he's going to go back to being an atrocious pitcher, but he's not going to continue to do what he had been doing, and especially in Yankee Stadium. Like, things can unravel really quickly. Kay gets a little benefit in that stadium because he's left-handed, right? But I still don't think I can get to Anthony Kay the way that, like, Goldschmidt's swinging it, Ben Rice is crushing lefties.
Yeah.
It's just a really tough spot that I don't think I want to do it. But in reality, the pitcher on the other side, Rodon, has just as much volatility as Anthony Kay does tonight. But yet, I'm preferring to play Rodon, even though he's 11 times as owned. What are you doing with your Orioles pitcher, Kyle Bradish, tonight?
I'll be using him. It's, we saw the Orioles get, look like assholes, but I mean, Seattle wasn't, really doing a whole lot either. So, Bradish is worth some shots. I mean, not that he's that low owned or anything.
No, he's definitely not low owned, but compared to
the top three.
the top three, like there's a considerable drop off to him, and then there's a drop off to Ashcraft and Sproat. So, um, I can't quit playing Bradish. I'm getting closer and closer to being fed up with what he's doing, but like he just has the random starts right now to remind us what he was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Would you
so
play both of them? Together?
I think I would. Um, that's the best pitching environment on the slate is in that ballpark.
And
By
two
far,
teams that
really.
like to strike out.
Like, it's easily the lowest. I guess Milwaukee's got a low total, but Gavin Williams is pitching in that, and then
Yeah.
Cleveland is just rough. But that ballpark is nowhere near the same as what Seattle's is. And you have a 2 or 3 run difference between that Seattle game and 4 other games on the slate, 5 other games on the slate, right? Or 4 other, I guess.
Yeah.
So like it's just an environment that I think you can pair them both because the way things have been going, today included, like there's so much offensive firepower right now. Like there's so many runs being scored. Fantasy point totals are extremely high. Like no starting pitchers really getting W's. I think trying to get one W out of that game probably is a good thing on this slate.
Yeah.
Like those 4 points can be a difference. Yeah, there's a route to getting 2 wins, with like J.R. Ritchie or Rodon, maybe Gavin Williams, but that one feels really tough to get, right? Because Cleveland's gonna have a hard time scoring runs. So Gavin Williams has to be like spectacular. And anytime you're looking at a pitcher to try to be spectacular against the Brewers, I think you're probably in trouble.
Yeah.
Just the way that they, I guess, attack pitchers. Plus, Gavin Williams racks up pitch count early. So, yeah, I just like the idea of Bradish and Kirby and getting 4 points because there could be a lot. Like, I don't know what the combined strikeout props are. We talked about that probably weeks ago. But that's one where I would feel or I would at least be very interested to see what the number is in that game.
Let's see. Game 20 plus Ks.
That's the best strikeout environment or strikeout spot.
20 plus Ks. The Cleveland Milwaukee game is minus 131.
Jesus.
And Baltimore is plus 182.
I do not like
over 20 strikeouts.
I don't like the Cleveland game for that many strikeouts.
How many do you think Sprout's going to get?
I really don't know. I haven't looked at his K prop.
Gavin Williams plus 128 to get 8 plus. 43% probability. Kirby, they got Sprout plus 361. They think a lot's going to come from the bullpens.
Which could definitely be the case.
Kirby is 31% to get 8 plus. Rodon 22%. Sprout has higher odds than Ashcraft and Bradish.
Yeah, I don't. Sprout just doesn't go deep enough, so like a lot of the strikeouts have to come from the bullpen at this point.
I think I don't know if that might be somehow mixed in. Well, that's for the whole game, so I guess that's
right.
Kind of different. So Kirby and Gavin Williams are both under to get a quality start.
Yeah.
Ashcraft is plus with 115 to get a quality start.
I don't. That one, the odds feel too low to me. Just because it might be tough for Ashcraft against the A's and how much they walk, like for him to get 6+ innings.
Yeah.
But overall, like the slate isn't the greatest for pitching, but it's still better than what we saw today.
Yeah.
I still think there's going to be a bunch of runs scored tonight. Wrigley blowing out again. Obviously,
even though that hasn't really.
I mean, there's been home runs hit in
Yeah.
Wrigley the last couple of days, but there hasn't been any blow up innings really.
Yeah, straight out to center, more or less, just slightly to left field, 14 miles per hour in Oakland or Sacramento. Blown out to left about 10 miles per hour, Boston. Chicago, pretty extreme, 13 miles per hour out the center and right a little bit.
Yeah, and then you have Yankee Stadium with a short porch.
Yeah. Wind's blowing straight across about 11, 12 miles per hour.
I don't think wind affects much in Yankee Stadium,
Yeah.
from my understanding.
Blowing in Atlanta, in from
That's
right.
probably interesting.
13 to 11 miles per hour coming in from right to left. And what happened in St. Louis today? It was 22 miles per hour blown out.
Then we don't have a lot of home runs, do we?
I haven't looked at the score.
6-1 Padres right now.
Fuck Padres.
Jackson Merrill did add a home run, who was somebody I really liked. Didn't hit it until the 9th inning.
I still need to pick a home run since mine got taken before I could get there.
Well, can we go back in time and I'll just take Jackson Merrill and you can have Ryan Reynolds then?
I'll find somebody.
But all right, well, enough about pitching. Probably, like, I can't say it's going to be like last night. You know, last night I sat here and we can go back and clip it and guarantee it. But I said, like, there's probably going to be one pitcher that scores 30 plus, and then there's going to be a bunch of dudes that score 18 to 22.
Yeah.
Pointing this out in Discord, there were 10 dudes that scored between 18 and 25 DK points, and we had one pitcher in the 30s. So pitching isn't really what made or broke. I can't speak English. Didn't make or break your slate last night. It was the offenses, and offenses put up a ton of runs, a lot of home runs. I think we're probably going to see something similar tonight. Not as many pitchers, but we probably see a handful of guys all very similar in their DFS outputs from the pitcher position. So I'm not necessarily as worried about picking the exact pitchers as I am just making sure I'm getting a bunch of like these top 5 guys, really. And then J.R. Etchie. Like I'm trying to go with just a 6-man pool tonight. So then that means we need to focus more on our hitters, right? You already said Pittsburgh was your top stack. Like, are they in a tier by themselves, or do you have other teams similar to them?
I want to say I still put Oakland as the A's as my other tier 1. Yeah, it was Pittsburgh and the A's.
I actually put Pittsburgh and the A's both in tier 2. I just looked at it now. You're going to be able to guess one of my tier 1 teams. You will not guess the other tier 1 team.
All right. Well, I won't cheat. Is Colorado one of them?
Nope, Colorado is my third tier 2 team.
The White Sox?
It is not the White Sox.
Toronto?
Toronto is one of them.
And the Yankees?
No, I mean the other one should be obvious. If it's not,
the Cubs.
It's the Cubs. But Toronto is the out of left field tier 1 team for me. Good ballpark spot. They don't strike out a lot. Wind blowing out in Boston for the right-handed bats. They've actually had some guys with OPSs in the 4 figures over the last week. I think there's a handful of dudes like Schneider, Akamoto, Springer. There might have been one more, but I think it's a sneaky upside spot against Jake Bennett tonight. So that was my trying to get leverage on the hitting spots.
Yeah, they're number 3 for me right now.
Are they?
They were 4th behind Boston, but they've leapfrogged Boston now.
I gotta see where I had Boston.
Now,
I had Boston right behind the Yankees. I might have to slide them down a little bit.
That's about where they are now for me, right behind the Yankees with the White Sox.
I might flip-flop Boston and the White Sox in my rankings just for fun. But, I mean, I like some of the Boston bats just because Wilson Contreras has been on fire. But, yeah, they take a hit without facing Max Scherzer right now.
Novar Show?
He's on the IL.
Oh.
So my daughter's softball practice is canceled, which means now she can go to a second basketball camp.
All right.
Yeah. It's very weird having a daughter that hated sports up until last year, and now all of a sudden she wants to do all things sports.
Do everything.
So it is what it is. I'm obviously fine with it since that's all I did growing up, but it's a hassle. This parenting thing running back and forth. I don't live in a gigantic city. I mean, Oshkosh is 40-some thousand people, and there's a state university here in Oshkosh. But it's not that gigantic, but it still takes me 15, 20 minutes to get her to these places within Oshkosh. So it's 30 to 40 minutes driving, back and forth each time. That's annoying. But I don't know where I was going to go, because to me it's really like Wrigley and it's Sacramento as the 2 spots you really want to get bats from.
Yeah.
And then the sneaky spot would have been in Boston. Maybe it is sneaky now because Scherzer's not there, and maybe that makes Boston a little sneakier. Are you interested in stacking against Kirby, stacking against Gavin Williams?
Gavin Williams, yes. Kirby, not really. I mean, it's not so much that I'm deathly afraid of Kirby. It's just, the Orioles aren't swinging a hot bat right now. There's a few guys with good history.
I would say it's better than good history for a couple of them.
Yeah. Some of them have elite history.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just it's Alonso and Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
mainly. And plus Alonso's been on fire.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I was like, I didn't even list Alonso's BVP because I just went with 1438 OPS and 3 home runs in the last week.
um, I mean, the obvious issue is the thing that we've been talking about. What seems like the last couple weeks, first base is absolutely loaded. So
Yeah,
even though it is a 7-game slate, there are a bunch of first basemen that I want to make sure I get exposure to tonight,
and
which can be
I only
frustrating.
listed 5, and I felt like I could have kept going.
I feel like I probably had more than 5. Let me look. I have 6, and I think I left 1 or 2 out that I'm just like, you know what, I gotta stop. But I mean, yeah, I don't have Ben Rice listed even like I probably should.
Yeah, I didn't even list Ben Rice.
I don't have Rafael Devers, even though I have Bryce Eldridge.
Eldridge is killing the ball.
Yeah,
I didn't list Horwitz or Olson.
yeah. Horowitz has a home run against Savali in his career. I don't have Olson listed. Vlad against the lefties probably in play. I don't have him listed. I don't have Michael
Yeah.
Bush listed in that ballpark.
I guess in my defense of Olson, he's not on my slate.
I suppose that's true. He is on mine, but he didn't make mine. I mean, they're just it's just a strong position that it's really tough to spread yourself out in because you think you want to have so much like Nick Kurtz, right? I want to have a
Yeah.
ton of Alonso because he's on fire. I want to have a ton of Paul Goldschmidt because he crushes left-handed pitching. I
I
want to
think
have a
you're
ton of Wilson Contreras.
only one I don't have that you have is Eldridge, which I don't have the game.
Have the game, yeah. Rumfield's on fire too. So having so many guys, it makes it tough to, take stands and be like, I get to have 25% Paul Goldschmidt,
Yeah.
right? It's possible, but then you're giving up percentages of Nick Kurtz, who's just probably the smartest play at first base. Like his projection is 33% higher than like Alonso's is. So it's tough. I like second base a little bit more than I normally do tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Shortstop was a man.
Yeah, it is a little bit like it's kind of gunner or pick a Yankees eligible shortstop who've been
Yeah.
decent recently. Ezekiel Tovar has BVP, but he's been so bad that it's tough. I listed Ernie Clement because traditionally, like we've played him against left-handed pitching. So, and he just fits into my Toronto love tonight.
Yeah. I kind of listed the chalk with Nico and Rafaela.
Yeah, I mean Rafael is in my outfield.
I needed a shortstop.
Yeah. I mean Cole Carrick's still in play. I don't know if he's shortstop eligible on FanDuel or not, but
Yeah, I still in the outfield, I think. Damn, I had to rewrite them down.
Yeah, I mean outfield has expensive dudes that I like. A few in the mid 3Ks, but really it's the expensive guys I really like. And Suzuki, I even like Jackson Churio. Brian Reynolds is my favorite. Like, there's so many dudes, but they're all expensive.
I wanted to make Churio a core, and I was like, oh.
I mean, it's tough, but like, I think about it. I mean, I made Davis Schneider a core. Of all people, like Davis Schneider is a core.
Might have to. Yeah, I think I can take Yoshida off of my core now.
Well, I suppose, yeah. Yoshida had a ton of intrigue because of how he crushed against Scherzer.
Yeah.
Might have to remove him from my sheet as a strong play. Um, did Colorado's lineup come out yet, or has it not? It has.
Yes, confirmed.
Willie Castro is not in the lineup, even though he's been one of their hottest
Erling
hitters.
Thompson.
That seems dumb. Who else is not in the lineup? Carrick's hitting fifth.
Rumsfeld, Goodman fourth.
Karros and Julian. Oh, there's no Troy Johnston either. That feels really dumb. But we will remove some of these guys. But yeah, I have like 10 minutes or so, 12 minutes. Do you want to go position by position? I haven't really seen any questions pop up in chat. I answered the Ken Kniff in Discord about this question. I'll let you answer it just to see.
After seeing Colorado's lineup, it'd be Colorado.
I still think it's the A's for me, but I lean closer now. It's a coin flip between those two because I'm playing Pittsburgh. Even though all three of those teams, coincidentally, are tier 2 for me.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to get off Colorado, I'd feel okay about doing that. Still think they're the play for me. But all right.
And with that, I will say Hunter Goodman is my favorite catcher. And a lot of that is he's in such a great spot, and he's half the ownership of Drake Baldwin.
Yeah. Being lower owned than Mickey Gasper probably makes him just a pretty good play. But yeah.
First base. I mean, I guess really, honestly, it's just kind of got to be Kurtz, but I like Goldie. Brandon Lau at second, Nick Gonzalez at third. Shortstop. I mean, if I'm honest, Gunnar is my favorite shortstop, but outfield, Brian Reynolds, Carrig, Springer, and damn it, I forgot. Did I say actually my third baseman? I also love Akamoto, but yeah.
My catcher, man, it's tough to not go like Goodman, but I'll go with Alejandro Kirk since I'm so big on Toronto tonight. It's looked pretty good coming off the IL. Pretty decent spot at low enough ownership, a third of the ownership of Drake Baldwin. First base, I think you mentioned it, Goldschmidt. I think he's probably mine. But like if you really want to play the ownership pivot off of these guys right here at the top, Alonso at sub 1% owned based on how he's swinging it plus his BVP. Probably an amazing one-off play at first base. Just because he can match the upside of these other guys. Even if you're playing like a Pittsburgh stack, you go with Alonso and then Pittsburgh around him to be a little different. Like on their own, I would much rather have Alonso than Horwitz. So, getting him at sub 1% is very intriguing to me. Second base, my favorite is going to be Davis Schneider. Back to the Toronto theme. to the way I'm building things. 2% feels pretty good. Third base, you mentioned Nick Gonzalez. I absolutely love Nick Gonzalez. I hate his price point.
Yeah.
It might be Colt Emerson, sub 1% eligibility there. The third base isn't as strong as I probably thought it was going to be. Shortstop could be Colt Emerson too. It could be Cole Young on the same team. I think Cole Young was like 3 for 3 with a home run against Bradish last week. Otherwise, I kind of like Andres Jimenez in a left-on-left situation. He kind of gets overlooked a little bit, and I think he's fine. But like you, my favorite shortstop by far is Gunnar for GPP upside. Outfield, you mentioned my favorite player overall on the slate in Brian Reynolds. Seiya Suzuki is my favorite Cubs bat. He's pretty popular, though. Obviously, so is Brian Reynolds. George Springer, really like tonight as well. And we'll scroll down and get a low 0-1 just to make things a little different. Probably Randall Grichuk with the way that he's hit left-handed pitching with the White Sox, plus a little bit of revenge narrative against the Yankees. They DFA'd him earlier this year. That led to him signing with the White Sox. So there's some revenge there. I kind of like Eli White. I want to see what his ownership is going to be. He doesn't really have any projected ownership right now, but he's been swinging it really well, and he normally only plays against lefties anyways. So his numbers are kind of true against left-handed pitching. Probably gets overlooked a little bit as a cheap value option on this particular slate. That's it for position by position. Tattoo, do you have any dongs to give to the people?
I got all the dong. I think your boy David Schneider hits one. And I like Luke Raley and Hunter Goodman.
Yeah, I like David Schneider. I hate jumping on him after he's hit a couple home runs over the last few days, but we saw him, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago when he first came up. He just hits home runs in bunches.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna try to bank on him continuing that.
I like Eldridge and Carrig tonight to both hit one.
I would like to see Carrig bounce back a little bit. He had a rough night last night. So it would be nice. But yeah. That's all we got. I have to get out of here. Go do the dad thing and be a chauffeur. One basketball camp to another one. Exciting night. But yeah, hit us up in Discord with any questions, any thoughts, with screenshots of all your W's tonight. If you're a member, obviously you can tag us with questions there. If you're not a member, scrolling across the bottom of the screen, Best Ball 2026 is our best coupon code right now. 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership. Core 4 does include baseball. If you want to join us for only baseball, you can grab the link in the description and use Raz or Tattoo for 10% off. That link in the description works for the Best Ball 2026 coupon code as well. But we're off tomorrow. We're back on Friday around 4 o'clock Central Time. If we're not winning tonight, hopefully one of you guys does. And helmets up, and we'll see you in 48-ish hours.
The best coaches in the game, we really ain't playing. We regroup up in the Slack chat where the coaches debrief. We be piecing these puzzles, occupy the chunk of the pie. Ain't no lie when we hit the block, helmets casket is hot. You be seeing helmet after helmet, helmet after helmet. First place, second place, fifth place, eighth place, 12th place, 15, 16, 20. So many helmets, you got blurred vision, we got too many. Take your tech. Oh man, shit. They got us fucked up. Army, regroup. We pledge always to have that edge. We don't fire warning shots. Competition just dropped. We locked and loaded before lock. Whatever the time, yeah. Do you even correlate?
Being the best requires a willingness to outwork your competition. There's always someone smarter, faster, sharper, more naturally gifted.